So I have a little 3-gallon cube here, and I need a refugium. So what are we gonna do? I think it's time to build it. Let's go. Okay, gonna start off here by adding some sand and crushed coral as the substrate. Just do like maybe a 1/2 inch layer on the bottom. This is like a little buffer. This little refugium will also serve as a jail cell for any bad fish or inverts that want to act up in the display tank. So yeah, anyone who's a troublemaker is getting sent here until I can figure out what to do with them. I decided to add a sponge filter for a little more aeration in this particular area. You can see in the corner I have 2 pumps that feed into one, so hopefully they have enough power to push up from here to the display tank, which is about 3 feet above this area. If not, I'll have to get a different pump. Okay, refugium is filled up. I have it all plumbed out. Here's the feed from the tank. A little safety measure here. I have a tray in case it leaks out, and this like holds a little tablet that expands. So if there's any water, it expands out, pops this open, and cuts the siphon from the tank, so it no longer feeds into the refugium. And then I ended up having to get a different pump. You can see there, I got a Tunes ATO pump actually, so it's variable voltage, so I can kind of control how much voltage gets to us and how much it outputs. So that feeds up into the tank. And yeah, as long as I keep it off the sand, it won't suck up any substrate. So I still have to wire it up. So that's next. Here's a power adapter, AC to DC voltage, that has a selector where I can choose which voltage I want. So the Tunes pump works from 3 volt to 12 volt, 12 volt being the most output. So I got to figure out which setting is gonna kind of match the siphon from the tank into the refugium, and then we go from there. All right, wired up. I don't think it matters negative positive for the Tunes pump, so just wired it up. Good to go. Okay, I had to buy a new energy bar. This will control the return pump on the refugium. Next up, liquid level sensor. Okay, here's the liquid level sensor. This is going to monitor the level in the refugium, so it lets me know what's going on. Do I need to turn the pump off, turn it on? Trying to match the siphon to the output of this. That is the goal. So I got it running now. It's kind of loud, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. Might have to figure out a different pump option here, but it seems to be working how I want it. And here's just the apex showing the fuge level. So I gotta find the range to work with on this. Okay, here's the refugium running with the light on. I'm not 100% on this light yet. I'll see once I get the macroalgae in here and see how it grows. If it's a slow growth, I'll probably add like a more of a grow light, refugium light to this setup. But for now, this will have to do. This is where it feeds into the back of my sump in the tank. I gotta get a line holder for these lines. That's next on my list. This red line here is where it draws in from the tank, back of the sump area, and goes down to the refugium. Here's the apex code I have. This is pretty much the level. If it's less than 2.9 on the sensor, I turn it off. If it's greater than 3.5, then I turn it on. So it stays within that range. And that's been working out so far. Okay, here is the final product with some Chaetomorpha installed. You can hear the pump on right now, and it just clicked off. So once it gets down to a certain level, pump kicks off, and then it'll slowly fill back up, and then it'll kick back on. I tried to match the siphon to the pump amount. It's close. The return pump is a little stronger, so it'll kick off every once in a while, but for the most part, it's pretty matched. I had to use the 7.5 voltage setting on the power adapter. But yeah, that's the Refugium. Thanks for sticking around, and I will catch you guys on the next one.